the Hisense WFQY1014EVJM. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah, there's no model range for this, so been trying to look for one. There isn't really one. But anyway, this is the Grenier drum build with Hisense programming. It's a very weird combination of things. So, yeah. It's 10 kilogram drum, 1400 spin. I'll go through the programs in a minute. There was one caveat with the programs that I'm going to tell you, that the load sizes I'll be telling you are a little wrong. And that's because there's no manual for this model. You can get it for the 12 kilogram version, you can get it for the 9 kilogram, the 8 kilogram, the 7 kilogram, but you cannot get the manual for the 10 kilogram on the Hisense website, or indeed at all anywhere on the internet. Yeah, but either way, what I'm going to say is still correct. Right. So this is a standard 600mm width, obviously 850mm tall, and to the door 60 centimeters deep, or around 58 if you're going to the body. Right, it's got something called Pure Jet. It's also got steam, but more about that in a minute. And it's got a inverter motor, making it quiet whilst in use. No brush motor. Which is also a good thing. The brush motors are pretty terrible. At the bottom we've got our coin filter down there. There's no drain hose though for it, unfortunately. And it's a bit horrible to open. It's rubbish design really. Door handle. Well, it's basically anything around here. But behind here, at this point, there are 3 little ridges, just so you can grab on. But all you got to do is just pull it open to open it. Right, we've got this door glass bowl. It's slightly off like this. That's simply because in the door itself, it has 2 markings, 2 positions. One off like this, one straight up. When I got the machine, it was off, so I decided to just leave it as. Yeah, we've got our bump stops here. So there we go, we've got our information for the machine. 10 kilogram, 1750 watt max draw, which means that the heater isn't very big. I'd probably say 1600 watt heater then, along with a 150 watt wash motor. So we've got this pattern drum with micro holes in it, so provides better draining and less snagging on the clothes. It also provides better wash action as well, since it's, you know, obviously beating against a surface textured pattern. The back of the drum actually is pretty much similar to both the Whirlpool drum, weirdly, in every single way apart from the actual drum surface itself. It's very odd. In fact, talking of Whirlpool-esque, yeah, even the door seal is Whirlpool-esque. So much so that the modern hot points are now starting to use the exact same design seal that Whirlpool have been using for years. What I'm saying really too is that deflector is also pretty much near enough the same. The only difference between a Whirlpool one and this one, apart from the slight design, is a slight cutout for the deflector, and that's because this cutout houses the whole opening ready for the washer dryer, which of course Whirlpool never had their own washer dryers. So we've got our fill here. That's a direct fill. It sprays water against the door glass bowl, keeping it clean, and it'll do it several times throughout the spin. Makes sense. We've got programs at the top, on off here, Between every cycle, you will have to turn it from whatever program back to off to reset the program. It has auto off function as well. If you don't start a program, within a couple of minutes it will automatically go off, and it automatically goes off at the end of the cycle as well. Alright, go through it all. So we've got cotton, max load 10 kilograms, of course, just made for washing normal soiled cotton. We've got our variable temperature here. We've got 40, we've got 60, we've got 95, we've got 20, we've got cold, 20, 30, yeah, and so on forth. Notice the time there. So between 0 and 30 it's about the same, then 40, 60 and 95 are 3 hours 29. We've got variable spin as well, 1400 spins maximum, obviously got no spin, 400, 600, 800, basically 200 RPM steps, all the way up to 1400. I don't think this one will do it. If it's so set it lower, no it doesn't. I'll show you why I'm doing this in a minute. Then we've got favourite. You can set any program and option setting, and then just press and hold, and you can store it under favourite. Then we've got 3 options. We've got pre-wash, which adds on a 30-degree pre-wash before the main wash. Extra rinse function adds on an extra rinse stage. And intensive, which extends the main wash, providing a more intense washing for heavy soil. And that's it. You can't combine them. That is really annoying. Especially if you're wanting like a pre-wash with an extra rinse, or you want an intensive and an extra rinse. You can't do it. We've got delay end, and it is delay end. So if we start at 6 hours, we press start now, and you've got 3 hours 29. It will delay for 2 hours 31 before it starts. Also, we can go up to 24 hours. Now, obviously, you've got start, pause, and this little icon here, which is a t-shirt with a plus, means to add garment. There is a light for it that will light up in this display when it's active. At any point, whilst that's active, you can add more washing. Right, now this is where it's going to get complicated. The next program. Cotton colour. Yeah, and it's got the little standard logo by it, as well as Eco 4060. Yeah. It appears that for some bizarre reason we've got to have both Eco 4060 and the standard programs now all within washing machines, yet some washing machines don't always have both cotton standard 60 and 40 and Eco 4060 all on the same machine. It's really bizarre on the regulations that they've got to follow. And to make this one even worse, how this one sets it is annoying. So, with cotton colour, you can wash up to 10 kilograms, and effectively it's for washing coloured fabrics that are moderately soiled. Right? So it's preset at 30, 40, 60, and 60 is maximum. Fair enough, you got 95 under the cotton cycle. Ready? Now watch this. Spin. It presets to 1000. Now, naturally on, say, a bush, a medium-made thing, or whatever, that's quite normal, but annoying. This seems odd, because it will preset maximum to every other program apart from this one. But, if we go to 1200, 1400, yeah, it's just added on an hour. Yeah, these are your standard programs, both on 40 and 60, set at 1400 RPM, is your standard eco programs for the machine. Which means, of course, it will wash the equivalent of 40 degrees at a lower temperature and wash at 60 degrees at a lower temperature for much longer. I don't think it affects the cold onwards, but we'll just have a quick look. No, it doesn't. So yeah, that's quite annoying. Options wise, you can add on pre-wash, extra rinse and That's it. Yep, no intensive on this program. Despite being a cotton program, even under that, which is really annoying. So why didn't they say the intense option just for the 40 and 60? They could have done that, and then that way you could have had a 1400 spin, normal cotton length program being 2.5 hours long. But you didn't. This annoys me. There's something else you need to know as well. This machine weighs the load, but that time it is correct for a full load on cotton standard. But any other program or temperature, let's say like at 30 or whatever, same with the cotton program, it's not 3 hours 29 for a full load, for example, on cotton 40. It's 3 hours 29 for a half load. If it weighs anything smaller than a half load, it will take off 15 minutes, for example, on this program. But if it's more than half a load, it will add on 10 minutes. How does it do that? It will weigh the load at the start. But if you were to start it on cotton standard, it won't weigh the load at the start. What you'll do is that you'll monitor how much water's taken in, then calculate it 20 minutes down the line. It is rather bizarre how this is all set up. Then of course we've got Eco 4060, which is also the new standard for all machines since 2021, how they measure energy, and this is varying auto temperature depending on the size of the load. Again, it doesn't weigh the load, it calculates the load size by how much water's been taken on during the first 20 minutes of the cycle. So despite having 2 dashes, meaning cold, it's not running at cold, it's running somewhere up to 40 degrees. Max spin is obviously 1400, but you can have a variable spin on this program that doesn't affect the time. Yeah. There's no options for it either. Then we've got mix. Now, something you may be realising if you have a quick look around at all these programs, there's no synthetics or easy care program. Or man-made fibres program. Yeah. It's here. Under mix. Max load. Well, if I go by the 12 kilogram, it's 4 kilogram. But if I go by the 8 kilogram version, it's 4 kilogram. Yeah, half load. I think there's a bit of an error on the 12 kilo one. It should be 6, effectively half load for mix. And rightly so. Max temperature is 40. Obviously you can change it. Max spin is 1400, but I believe it's a shorter, possibly a shorter spin. Of course you can have pre-wash, you can have extra rinse, and you can have intensive. Whatever. Right, wool program. Made for washing 2 kilograms of wool. It does use a high water level and a normal gentle action. Obviously it defaults to 40 degrees. Of course you can lower that. And max spin of 600 RPM, which of course you can cancel that if you want. You can have extra rinse, and that's about it. Then we got quick 15. 15-minute wash made for washing 1 kilogram of laundry. It does 1 rinse and it does a short spin at 800 RPM. Right, you can increase the temperature. You can go from 20 degrees, where it's preset at, and we can go to 30, which will add on 5 more minutes, and 40, which will make it half an hour long. At least then it will actually heat the water, and it will do as well, and it will get there. The only downside, of course, is it can only wash 1 kilogram of lightly soiled laundry. It seems quite a long time to wash 1 kilogram. When you start working out the maths, say like you want to wash 10 kilogram, it is actually quicker to wash 10 kilogram on cotton colour at 20 degrees than it is to wash on quick 15 on the 15-minute cycle at 20 degrees. Plus, of course, it spins faster. Yeah. So it doesn't really make any sense. It's not like other manufacturers on the market which will happily allow you to wash around a quarter of a load, let's say 3 or 4 kilograms, in 15 minutes. No, it's really, really limiting, which is actually quite a good thing if it's only covering 1 kilogram. However, of course, normal people don't do that. Normal people half fill the machine and put it on a quick 15. Anyway, you can have extra rinse if you wish. And we've got rinse and spin. So the machine will do 2 rinses and a full length cotton final spin. Of course, you can rinse up to a full load of 10 kilograms. You can also change the spin. It will default to 1000, but it will happily go up to 1400 in kind of no spin if you wish. You can also add on extra rinse and make it 3 rinses long instead. Then we've got spin only. It defaults to 1000 RPM, but you can increase that to 1400 RPM and do a full length cotton spin. It will add on a couple of minutes, but there we go. Then we've got drum clean at 90 degrees. Yeah, you can't change the temperature, it presets there. You can't change the spin, it presets at 800. There's no options, of course, and this cycle is absolutely useless. I'm not joking, it's absolutely useless. Bosch did exactly the same with their Series 4. Load it up with water, wash, and then drain. And then this one does 1 rinse and then does a short spin. But it washes at normal tumbles. That's it. No spinning it up. It's absolutely pointless. I will get it if the machine didn't have any programming inside it to spin the water. But this does. This is part of, this will do spin washes on, say, on the normal cotton standard program or the Eco 4060 program. But it won't do it on the drum clean. And yet other manufacturers, all manufacturers near enough, do some kind of fast tumbling action during washing. They might tumble at a normal rate during the start whilst it's heating, but happily once it gets to a hot water level, it may add on a cool down and then start doing it. At some point, nearly every manufacturer going does a spin wash, even Grenier. Then we've got 20 degrees. Allows you to wash 10 kilograms at 20 degrees. That is lightly soiled. Effectively, it's just the cotton program. Literally. Obviously, presets at 20. Presets at 1000, which can be bumped up to 1400. And you can add on extra options. It really is just cotton. Just down here. Then we've got the down program, allows you to wash 2 kilograms of basically absorbent stuff, like, I don't know, pillows, sleeping bags, coats, stuff like that. Down obviously meaning duck down, meaning feathers. So of course it presets the temperature at 30 and maxes at 40. You can't go any higher. It does use more water. It does change up the rinse and spin pattern. Of course you can add on an extra rinse. Yeah, it works quite well. Then we've got sportswear. Effectively it's a much quicker mix synthetics cycle, some sort of like that. Presets at 30, again limits to 40 degrees. Limits to spin as well to prevent creasing. We can add on stuff like a pre-wash, extra rinse or intensive. This time intensive only adds on 20 minutes. Then we've got the dark wash, which allows you to wash 4 kilograms of dark coloured laundry. So what it does, it runs 3 rinses instead of 2. Or guarantees 3 rinses effectively. Short wash cycle, 3 rinses, limits the spin to 1000. I presets at 20, but it can go up to 40, of course. Which will make it a little bit... It doesn't seem to affect the time, though. You got all your options available as well. Then we've got baby steam care, and we've got algae steam care. Both of which I've used, and they don't seem to use steam. So why they call it steam care, I will never know. The water level's never low enough for the heater to be only shallowly covered. The water level's too high at any point, so it doesn't work. Certainly doesn't steam, let's put it that way. The algae steam will do 4 rinses. The baby steam will do 3 rinses, but it automatically includes a pre-wash, which you can turn off. Must also do a slightly longer wash then if it's only doing 3 rinses instead of 4. Both of them do wash 2 kilograms of laundry, and both of them preset to 60. To be fair, with the baby steam care, you can change temperature. You can have 40, 60, or 95. Whereas algae steam is limited to only 60. Although baby steam care also goes up to 1400. It's quite good then, I suppose. Quite flexible. And not too bad of a time then if you want a quicker 95 wash, I suppose. But then again, it's only washing 2 kilograms, so, you know. Whereas algae steam presets to 60. We have 40. It just says 60 in the book. And 1000 RPM preset, and that can go up to 1400 as well. And again, all the options are available. So they're not the only difference between algae steam and baby steam. Baby steam seems to automatically add on a pre-wash, but also allows a higher 95-degree wash. There isn't really that much between them, but they both definitely don't do steam. Right, like I said, it weighs the load by spinning the drum at the start, then calculate it from there, or it will sense with the water. Right, one other thing to just mention is this noise, the beeper. You can switch it off by pushing these two together. You've got child lock as well there by pushing them two together. The beeper annoys me because every other manufacturer pretty much going at least put some kind of tone on, say, especially their finished beeper. This just sounds like a microwave oven once it's done. I'm not joking. It's this beep 3 times over. 4 times over, shall I say. And that's what you'll get. You'll get at the end of the cycle, get to end, and get... Like, come on! Even Bosch, even the Media-made Bosch, well, to be fair, Media's always had their own jingle. LG have had their own jingle. Samsung have got their own jingle. Even Indesit and Hotpoint and Whirlpool, actually, not going to think of it, have this end beep which has a slight tone to it. It is a single beep, but it goes... Or you got the triple beep, which does the same. At least it's got some kind of tone, but no, this... No. 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 I don't like it. I would rather them just to not bother. Allow the beep say here and then just to go, yeah, we're not bothering with an end beep, we'll just come up with end once it's done. Because, let's face it, when the door unlocks, the double clack, you're going to hear it. So this is your detergent drawer. This section is for the pre-wash. This section is for your main wash. That's your little drawer release. This section is for your fabric softener. We have got a little max fill line on there. The max level Though is only around 50 mils. There's 15. It very quickly starts to fill it up. I'd say the pre-wash probably only has a max level around 75 mil anyway. That will happily take, well, that's 60, and look how little there is there. I bet you can fill, obviously you've got this here in the way, but to stop it obviously overflowing prematurely. But I reckon you can get a good 300 plus millilitres of powder in this section for the main wash. what to give this Hisense out of 10 then? Well, it's got a couple of flaws with it. One, that final spin, they're sheets. 1400 spin, very good. Two, there's a major issue. If it suslocks and will come out the drawer. Just like an e-back. And when it suslocks, it doesn't seem to want to kick in and cut the spin. Rather, it will spin through it, then we'll carry on rinsing. We won't add any rinse steps or hide in the water or anything. It just carries on as if there's nothing there when it suslocks. 3, I don't like the fact that the options, you can only have one or the other, or the fact that they could have utilised the intense option on the cotton colour, so at least in that way you could have had a cotton with a 1400 spin. You can't. I don't like the fact that the algae steam, baby steam, don't steam at all. The dart wash actually only does 2 rinses, not 3. Load detection system is a bit, I don't know, hit and miss. It's fine if you're using the water to detect the load, but when it's actually throwing them about as normal, it doesn't seem, it's like it wants 10 kilogram even on a dart wash. Sometimes it's weird. And weirdly, the program choice, I think, is also all a bit wrong in a way. Yes, you get a quick wash, you've got your cotton wash, but where's your easy cares? Where's a delicate cycle? It's not there. They've got specialist cycles, 2 of which are pretty much the same. The 20-degree cycle, which should happily be incorporated into the cotton colour cycle, but it wasn't. Yeah, it's quite annoying. Reliability-wise, I don't seem to have as many motor errors with this one as you do with other Hisense models. They don't seem to appear as much. You don't get any drum issues as such either. You don't get like the whole spider. There's no spider issues are known of. No real bearing issues either known of. I think the only major things are usually the motor if it does go wrong, which is fine. But that being said, I can't really see in this having drums and motors not going, or the board not going, or the drums not going after about 10 years. They are going to inevitably break. So they're not that particularly reliable. You do get a lot for your money, I suppose. 10 kilogram, 1400 spin, and it is a proper good 10 kilogram in there. I think it's like a 70 litre or plus drum. If you were to put duvet in it, will properly fit in there, I suppose. Yeah, so it's a bit hard to just come up with an answer, and I think my answer is going to be a 6 out of 10. It's definitely better than like an e-back. I'd have this over an e-back any day. I'd have this over Vestals as well any day. It certainly doesn't seem to ever not spin. It doesn't seem to limit the spin, and even with balancing, I haven't actually had any real balancing issues so far. I put one item on one and it still spun it, so it's happily to do that. The only issue is the drum clean. Like, it needs modifying, so it incorporates the spin washing. Even if it's like once every couple of minutes within the wash of the drum clean, or even within the rinse, just to kind of at least reach the higher parts of the tub. It's weird. Right, there we go. Enjoy this review. Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you enjoyed watching it. Give us a like, give us a subscribe if you haven't done so already for more washing machine content, tool dryer content, etc. And I'll see you in another video. Yeah, of course, I'm going to be keeping this Hisense around for quite a while. There's no, I'm not going to shift it on anytime soon. I'm going to be in plenty of wash races. I've done plenty of videos that are going to be on the V2 channel. Yeah, I do like it, but there's issues as well. So it's one of them. Very hit and miss. I don't completely hate it. It's kind of... It's got a bit more character to it than a lot of other machines, so I suppose there's that. Right. I'll see you again. So, bye for now.